Can you believe it? Another airplane just went down. This one is big, really big. Talking about Air India Flight 171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner that crashed right after takeoff on June 12, 2025. That's right. The plane was barely in the sky for 60 seconds before it dropped straight back to Earth. No smoke, no fire in the early footage. Looked like a clean takeoff. Textbook, even. So, how does something that looks so normal end up in flames just a minute later? Now, that's the mystery. Is it a mechanical failure, pilot error, something wrong with the software? Or are we, once again, pointing fingers at Boeing? It's hard not to when we've seen so many headlines about their planes in the last few years. This time, something strange is going on, and we're about to look at every piece of the puzzle together. Let's start with the video everyone's seen by now, the one that played on news channels across the world. But here's the twist. That video, it's not the original. That's right. What you saw was a recording of a recording, shot off a computer screen. You could literally see the reflections of people in the room and hear them talking in the background. It was grainy, low quality. It's not very helpful. But then came the real video, the clean version, the original. And this version, it has audio, important audio. Audio that, when you listen close, might just tell you what happened. So I watched it and I listened. And then I listened again, and something caught my ear. As the plane flies by, there's a buzzing sound. Now, this is a Boeing 787. It should sound like a smooth, twin-engine jetliner. But this buzz, it sounded more like a propeller plane. Weird, right? That's when I realized we might be hearing something that wasn't supposed to be out yet, something called a Ram Air Turbine, also known in aviation as the RAT. It's a backup power system that only pops out when there's a serious problem. Basically, if both engines fail or there's a loss of power, the RAT deploys and generates emergency electricity and hydraulic pressure. It's a last resort tool. You're only supposed to hear it when the situation is very bad. So if we heard the RAT in that video, it means something went very wrong within seconds of takeoff. Now, let's look at what else we know. Flight was delayed. It was scheduled to leave at 11:10 p.m., but it didn't get off the ground until 1:38 p.m. A 2-hour delay. There was also a video circulating earlier that day from a passenger complaining that the air conditioning wasn't working on board. It looked hot, stuffy. But here's the thing. You can't confirm if that video was from this exact plane. Sometimes in big events like this, people throw fake clips into the mix. So take that detail with a grain of salt. Next up, radar data. According to Flight Radar 24, the plane reached just 625 feet in altitude before it started coming down. Its speed was about 174 knots, which is actually close to the expected takeoff speed. But then, just nosed down and lost lift. And then we saw the crash site inside the BJ Medical College campus. Yes, the plane went down directly into a populated area. The buildings caught fire, debris was everywhere, and hundreds of people rushed to help. Firefighters, students, locals. It was chaos, but also, somehow, a glimmer of hope, because someone survived. His name is Romesh Vishwash Kumar, reportedly seated in 11A. That's right over the wing, in business class. According to reports, he jumped out of the plane. Now, let's be real. It's almost impossible to jump out of a plane midair and survive. So it's more likely the aircraft broke apart on impact, and he managed to escape the wreckage after the crash. The fact that he lived through it, that's nothing short of a miracle. Now, let's take another look at the crash footage. As the plane lifts off, everything looks fine. There's no fire, no tilt, no smoke. But right around the 15-20-second mark, it seems to start losing lift. The aircraft doesn't stall, doesn't spin. It stays almost perfectly level, which tells us something important. The pilots were doing everything right. They were trying to glide the plane down, not panic and yank the controls. And remember the sound of that RAT we talked about earlier. That noise is a major clue. It points to a total power failure, possibly electrical or engine related. Their both engines failed, or something cut off the power to them. The RAT deployed automatically, trying to keep systems running. But it was too little, too late. Let's talk about Boeing. A lot of people are angry, and with good reason. The company's had its fair share of problems. But let's also be honest, the 787 Dreamliner has a good safety record. It's been flying since 2011, with over 1,000 planes in service worldwide, and 0 hull loss crashes until now. So, was this just a freak accident? Rare failure? Maintenance issue? Maybe? But the truth is, we don't know yet. And that's why the NTSB is getting involved. They're sending experts to help decode the black boxes and read the flight recorder data. That's where the real story lies. Inside the cockpit logs, the engine data, and the pilot communications. One final thing to note. The Boeing stock. Right after the crash, It took a dive, dropped by nearly $10 in a single day. Investors are spooked. But unless this turns into another design flaw like the 737 MAX disaster, the market may bounce back. Still, this is a massive reputational hit. So what do we make of all this? The plane took off, climbed to just 625 feet, then dropped from the sky. No stall, no explosion mid-air, just a clean takeoff, followed by a sudden failure. A ratty was heard, which means power problems. One survivor says he jumped out, and all signs point to either engine failure or a total systems malfunction. This story is far from over, and you can bet more details will come out soon about the plane, the crew, and what really happened during those terrifying final seconds. Until then, keep your seatbelt on. We'll be back with more.